Hey everyone, The Rock here, ready to take you on a journey through time back to ancient Greece. We're about to dive into the epic adventures of Hercules, the ultimate son of Zeus, and his legendary 12 labors. Get ready for monstrous beasts, impossible challenges, and enough action to make your head spin faster than a discus thrower at the Olympics. We're talking about Hercules, the guy who literally moved heaven and earth to prove his strength. We're gonna break down each labor, step by step, with all the grit and glory they deserve. From strangling mythical lions with his bare hands to cleaning out stables that would make a garbage dump jealous, Hercules didn't back down from anything. So buckle up, because we're about to explore some of the most incredible stories ever told. Get ready to unleash your inner hero, because this is Hercules, the epic 12 labors. First up, we're talking about the Nemean Lion, a beast so tough it makes a rhino look like a cuddly kitten. This thing was terrorizing the countryside, and its hide, let's just say it made Kevlar look like tissue paper. Swords bounced off it, arrows just tickled it, and regular mortals, let's just say they became lion chowder.
Hercules, your first labor is to slay the Nemean Lion. Good luck, you're gonna need it.
King Eurystheus, the dude who cooked up these crazy labors, thought he could take down Hercules with this one. Little did he know he was messing with a demigod on a mission.
All right, let's see what we're dealing with here. A lion with an impenetrable hide? Sounds like a challenge.
Hercules, being the strategic powerhouse that he is, knew a direct attack was a no-go. He needed a plan, and fast, because this lion wasn't about to lay down for a belly rub. Hercules tracked the beast back to its den, a cave hidden deep in the mountains. This wasn't just any cave, though. It was like the lion's personal fortress, littered with the bones of its past victims. Not a pretty sight, but Hercules wasn't there for a picnic. He was there to lay the smackdown.
All right, big guy, it's just you and me now. Let's see if you can handle this.
Armed with nothing but his bare hands and the strength of 1,000 men, Hercules went toe-to-toe with the Nemean Lion. This wasn't your average Tuesday tussle, folks. We're talking epic, ground-shaking, roar-inducing combat. All right, folks, labor number 2, and trust me, it's a real head-scratcher. Literally. Hercules had to face the Lernaean Hydra, a creature so nasty it makes a cobra look like a garden hose. Imagine a giant serpent, but instead of one head, it had 9. And if that wasn't bad enough, each head was packed with enough venom to knock out a cyclops. This wasn't just some overgrown reptile, though. This was the Hydra, offspring of Typhon and Echidna, 2 of the most fearsome monsters in Greek mythology. Talk about bad bloodlines.
Great, a 9-headed serpent, just what I needed. Let's see how you like a little bit of Hercules.
And if there's one thing Hercules hates more than a bad script, it's a creature that thinks it can outmuscle him. Now, the Hydra had one nasty trick up its, well, all of its sleeves. You chop off one head, 2 more sprout back in its place. Talk about a regenerating nightmare. Hercules quickly realized that brute force wasn't going to cut it this time. He needed a new plan, something clever, something fiery.
All right, Hydra, let's see how you handle a little fire. Time to get creative.
And so, with a new strategy in mind, Hercules prepared to face one of his toughest challenges yet. So Hercules has slain the Nemean Lion. Boom! He's taken down the Hydra. Pow! This guy's on a roll. But wait, because King Eurystheus, the dude who's supposed to be rewarding Hercules, is also the one dishing out these crazy labors. And let me tell you, this king, he's got a real talent for picking them. He's like the ultimate personal trainer from hell.
For labor number 3, Hercules has to catch the Nemean Hind.
Now this ain't no ordinary deer, folks. This magnificent creature is sacred to Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. We're talking golden antlers, hooves of bronze, the works, and it can run like the wind. Hercules is facing a year-long marathon across mountains, rivers, you name it. He's dodging arrows from Artemis's protective followers, all while trying to get close enough to this super-fast deer to, well, catch it. Can you imagine chasing something for a whole year? This is why Hercules is the OG strongman, not some gym rat who quits after a week.
This labor tests my endurance, my patience, my sheer willpower.
Remember, this is ancient Greece. No energy drinks, no protein bars, no comfy running shoes. This is pure grit and determination, fueled by the spirit of a true hero. And trust me, the payoff is going to be epic. Three labors down, 9 to go. King Eurystheus, probably still sore about that whole hind situation, decides to throw Hercules another curveball. This time it's the Erymanthian boar, a monstrous creature terrorizing the countryside. Think razor-sharp tusks, incredible strength, and a bad attitude to boot.
This boar isn't just hanging out in some open field. Oh no, its lair is up in the mountains, a treacherous climb even for a demigod. We're talking sheer cliffs, icy winds, and probably a yeti or two thrown in for good measure.
But Hercules, he doesn't back down from a challenge. He gears up, grabs his trusty club, and heads straight into the heart of the beast's territory. He's not just facing the elements, he's facing his own fears, his own doubts. Because let's be real, even a demigod can get a little intimidated by a giant, angry pig. Now you might think a guy like Hercules would just go toe-to-toe with a boar, club swinging, muscles bulging. And yeah, he could totally do that. But where's the fun in that? Hercules, he's a smart cookie. He knows brute force isn't always the answer. Sometimes you gotta outsmart your opponent.
So what do? I use the environment to my advantage. I chase the boar through the deep snow, wearing it down, using its own size and weight against it. I'm like a wrestler using leverage and technique to take down an opponent twice my size.
Finally, exhausted and trapped in the snow, the boar is at Hercules' mercy. But does he go for the kill? Nope. He captures the beast alive, just as the king requested. Talk about showing some serious restraint. This labor proves that true strength comes not just from muscles, but from intelligence and strategy. Alright, so far we've had man-eating lions, multi-headed hydras, super-fast deer, and giant angry pigs. So what could possibly be worse? Well, let me tell you about King Eurystheus and his stables. Imagine the worst smell you've ever encountered. Now multiply that by 1,000. Add in a few thousand cows, horses, and sheep, and you're starting to get the picture. These stables haven't been cleaned in 30 years. It's a Herculean task, literally.
Even I, the guy who laughs in the face of danger, am probably thinking, seriously, King, this is my labor?
But hey, a hero's work is never done, especially when it comes to cleaning up other people's messes. Now you might be thinking, okay, even Hercules can't shovel that much stuff. And you'd be right. But Hercules, he's not about to back down from a challenge, no matter how smelly. He looks at the problem, not with disgust, but with a strategic eye. He notices 2 rivers flowing nearby, and a light bulb goes off above his head. Bam! Hercules diverts the rivers, channeling their flow right through the Augean stables. The water comes crashing in, a raging torrent that washes away years of accumulated, well, you know.
Talk about power washing.
Hercules, in one fell swoop, completes a task that would have taken an army of ordinary men years to finish. He teaches us that sometimes the best solutions are the simplest, and that even the dirtiest jobs can be tackled with a little ingenuity.
So, the 6th labor, right? You think after cleaning up poop and wrestling giant boars, things would get easier? Nah.
This time, Eurystheus sends Hercules after some nasty birds. The Stymphalian birds. Not your average pigeons, I'm talking about feathered fiends with beaks that could pierce steel and feathers they could shoot like arrows. Dodging feathers like they're bullets. These birds were terrorizing Arcadia, and by terrorizing I mean eating people. Hercules had to take care of these flying devils. You gotta think like the Rock, and the Rock says, "Bring on the big guns." With the Stymphalian birds all shook up and vulnerable, Hercules grabbed his trusty bow and arrows. Now these weren't your everyday arrows. They were specially made, strong enough to pierce those metal feathers. Arrows flew through the air like guided missiles, each one finding its mark. Birds dropped from the sky like, well, birds hit by arrows. Feathers rained down like metallic confetti. It was a massacre of epic proportions, and Hercules was the conductor of this symphony of destruction. Now, lucky for Hercules, his pal Athena, the goddess of wisdom, owed him one. She hooked him up with a special gift, a rattle, a big loud magical rattle. This wasn't just any kid's toy, this bad boy could scare the feathers off those birds. Hercules took that rattle and shook it like he was trying to win a maracas competition. The sound was deafening. The Stymphalian birds flew out of their nests in a panicked frenzy, their metallic feathers clanging in the air. Now with the birds out in the open, Hercules could finally give those winged devils a taste of his own medicine.
He cleared the sky of those feathered fiends one by one. The once terrified people of Arcadia could finally breathe a sigh of relief. Hercules, the people's champ, had done it again.
But you know what the best part is? This was just labor number 6. This guy was a one-man army against mythical beasts. You gotta admire that kind of dedication, even if the boss is a real pain in the, well, you know.
All right, folks, buckle up because labor number 7 is about to go down. After dealing with those pesky birds, you'd think Hercules would get a break, right? Wrong.
This time, King Eurystheus sends him to Crete to deal with a raging bull. But not just any bull, mind you, this was the Cretan bull. Now, this wasn't some angry bull from down the farm. This beast was a force of nature. Legend has it, this bull was Poseidon's pet project, a magnificent creature with strength that could rival Hercules himself. But something went wrong, and this majestic bull went from 0 to 100, terrorizing the island of Crete.
Imagine a bull so powerful it could level villages with a single charge. It was trashing everything, and the people of Crete were living in fear. They needed a hero, someone who could handle a little bovine rage. Enter Hercules, the one-man wrecking crew, ready to wrestle destiny, or in this case, a very angry bull.
This task wasn't going to be a walk in the park. This bull was different. It was fast, strong, and had horns that could probably skewer a cyclops. Hercules knew he had to bring his A-game if he wanted to take down this beast. Hercules landed on the shores of Crete, ready to rumble. He knew this bull wasn't going down without a fight, so he did what any sensible demigod would do. He charged straight at the beast, letting out a roar that shook the very foundations of the island. This was a clash of titans, a showdown for the ages.
The Cretan bull, surprised by Hercules' audacity, met his charge head-on. The ground trembled as these two forces of nature collided. Dust filled the air, obscuring the epic battle raging within. Hercules, using his legendary strength, grappled with the bull, trying to gain the upper hand.
They say the battle raged for hours, each opponent refusing to yield. Hercules, with the heart of a lion and the determination of a champion, refused to give up. He dug deep, summoning all his strength, and finally, with a mighty heave, he wrestled the Cretan bull to the ground. The beast, exhausted and defeated, could only snort in defeat. Hercules had done it again. He had tamed the untamable, conquered the unconquerable. He bound the Cretan bull and prepared to ship it back to Eurystheus.
Little did he know his next labor would involve a herd of horses with a taste for human flesh. Stay tuned! Labor number 8, and the hits just keep coming. This time Hercules had to deal with some unruly horses. Now, I'm not talking about your average stallions. These were the mares of Diomedes, and they were bad news.
They were magnificent creatures, wild and untamed, with eyes that blazed with an infernal fire. But here's the catch. These horses weren't into hay or sugar cubes. They craved something a little more sinister. These beasts had developed a taste for human flesh. Diomedes, their owner, wasn't exactly a horse whisperer. He was a Thracian king, a cruel and ruthless tyrant who loved to feed his enemies to his beloved mares.
Imagine that. Horses so savage that they'd rather munch on humans than graze on grass. It was a gruesome sight, and Hercules knew he had to put a stop to this equine buffet. But how do you deal with horses that are basically land sharks? You gotta be smarter, faster, and one step ahead.
Hercules, never one to back down from a challenge, decided to use a bit of strategy. He knew brute force wouldn't be enough this time. He needed to outsmart both the horses and their master.
The Rock knows a thing or two about strategy, and let me tell you, Hercules was about to lay down the smackdown.
Hercules, always the resourceful one, came up with a plan. He snuck into Diomedes' stables and did something unexpected. He brought out his own horses, strong and loyal companions who had been with him through thick and thin. But these weren't just any steeds. These horses were a calming influence, used to the chaos of battle and loyal to their master. He used these horses to soothe the mares of Diomedes, calming their frenzied state. He fed Diomedes to his own monstrous steeds, a taste of his own medicine, you could say.
With the mares distracted and their master out of the picture, Hercules swooped in, swift and decisive. He quickly bound the man-eating mares, their reign of terror finally over. They were subdued, their bloodlust satiated, at least for now. Hercules had outsmarted the beasts and their cruel master, proving that brains could be just as powerful as brawn.
With the mares of Diomedes secured, Hercules set off, ready to deliver them to King Eurystheus. But his labors were far from over. The gods, it seemed, had a few more surprises in store for our hero. So, Hercules has been through 8 labors already, right? You'd think by now, King Eurystheus would throw in the towel, admit defeat. But no. This time, he sends our hero on a quest to fetch the girdle of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. Now these weren't your average lady's sewing circle. We're talking fierce warrior women, known for their skill in battle and their unyielding spirit. They weren't exactly keen on handing over their queen's girdle to some muscle-bound hero, no matter how many hydras he'd slain, Hercules as S1. But hey, a challenge is just another Tuesday for Hercules, right? Now you might think a bunch of women warriors wouldn't pose much of a problem for the son of Zeus. But remember, these are the Amazons. They were as tough as nails and twice as strong. They fought like cornered lionesses, defending their queen and their honor. Hercules as S1. I tried to reason with Hippolyta at first. I explained my situation, how it was all King Eurystheus' fault, and that I just needed the girdle to complete my labor. Now you'd think a little heart-to-heart would do the trick, right? Wrong. See, Hera, Zeus's wife, always had it out for Hercules. She couldn't stand the sight of him thanks to Zeus's, shall we say, wandering eye. So Hera, being the goddess of chaos she is, decided to stir the pot. She spread rumors among the Amazons, whispering that Hercules was there to kidnap their beloved queen. Talk about throwing fuel on the fire! The Amazons, already wary of Hercules, went full-on berserker rage. They charged into battle, arrows flying, swords clashing, the whole 9 yards. It was a scene straight out of a gladiator movie, only with more leather and less talking. Hercules found himself in the fight of his life. He never wanted to hurt the Amazons, but he had no choice but to defend himself. He fought with incredible strength and skill, but the Amazons were relentless. It was chaos, a whirlwind of limbs and weapons. But Hercules, being Hercules, eventually managed to overpower the Amazon warriors. He reached Hippolyta, and with a heavy heart, he took the girdle from her. So, Hercules completes his 9th labor, right? You'd think after facing down an army of warrior women, he'd get a bit of a break. Nope. King Eurystheus, that crafty old scoundrel, had another fun task lined up for our hero: steal the cattle of Geryon. And just who is Geryon, you ask? Oh, just a casual 3-bodied giant living on an island at the very edge of the world. No biggie, right? To reach Geryon's island, Hercules had to traverse scorching deserts, navigate treacherous mountains, and sail across vast, uncharted seas. It was a journey that would test even the most seasoned adventurer. But Hercules, being Hercules, took it all in stride. He battled monstrous creatures, outwitted cunning sirens, and even wrestled a giant sea serpent just for kicks. He was like a one-man army, overcoming every obstacle with grit, determination, and those ridiculously oversized muscles. Finally, after weeks of grueling travel, Hercules reached Geryon's island. Now imagine this: a volcanic wasteland, the air thick with smoke and the stench of sulfur. And in the middle of it all, guarding his precious cattle, stood Geryon. This wasn't some scrawny 3-headed troll. This dude was massive, each head with a wild mane of hair and a gaze that could melt glaciers. He was like the final boss in a video game, only 1,000 times more intimidating. The battle was legendary. Geryon attacked with the fury of a hurricane, swinging his massive club and scorching the earth with fiery breath. But Hercules, fueled by ambrosia and pure willpower, stood his ground. He dodged Geryon's blows, his muscles rippling as he fought back with the strength of 1,000 men. It was a clash of titans, a battle for the ages. All right, folks, we're talking labor number 11, and this one's a real humdinger. Hercules has got to snatch some seriously sought-after fruit, the golden apples of the Hesperides. These babies are a symbol of immortality, guarded by a dragon with 100 heads named Ladon. And the garden is protected by the badass warrior women, the Hesperides. Hercules, as S1. I need a plan, and fast. He remembers the Titan Atlas, condemned to hold up the sky. Atlas just happens to be the father of the Hesperides. Hercules, as S1. Hey man, I'll hold up the sky for you, you grab the apples. Atlas agrees, thinking, anything to get a break. So off he goes, while Hercules gets a taste of carrying the weight of the world. Atlas, he got a little taste of freedom, and he liked it. He tries to pull a fast one on Hercules. Hercules, as S1. Let me show you how to do it right so you don't hurt your back. Atlas, gullible as ever, falls for it. Hercules takes the apples and gets the heck out of there. He gets the golden apples, adds another notch to his victory belt. 10 labors down, 2 to go, and things are about to get even wilder. Stick around because next up, Hercules faces his final and most dangerous challenge yet. We're on the final leg of this epic journey, the 12th and final labor of Hercules. This time, he's diving deep into the underworld, the realm of Hades, to capture Cerberus, the three-headed hound from hell. This ain't just any dog walk, folks. This is the ultimate test of strength, courage, and sheer willpower. Cerberus is no chihuahua, let me tell you. He's a monstrous beast with 3 heads, each one more ferocious than the last. His bark is said to shake the earth, and his bite? Let's just say you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. He's the ultimate guard dog, making sure no souls escape the underworld. Hercules as S1. So I journey to the underworld, a dark and dangerous place even for a demigod. I've got to navigate rivers of fire, face down terrifying creatures, and even confront the souls of the dead. But I've got one thing on my mind: completing this labor and proving my worth once and for all. When he finally reaches the gates of Hades, he's greeted by the god of the underworld himself. Hades, he's not exactly thrilled to see Hercules. He knows why he's there, and he's not about to make it easy for him. Hades agrees to let Hercules take Cerberus, but there's a catch, of course. He can't use any weapons. He's got to capture the beast with his bare hands. This is basically like trying to wrestle a hurricane, but Hercules, he never backs down from a challenge. He cracks his knuckles, stretches those legendary muscles, and steps into the heart of the underworld. Finding Cerberus is no problem. The monstrous roars echoing through the caverns kinda give away his location. The real challenge is facing him, Hercules, as S1. With my godlike strength, I grapple with the three-headed beast. It's a clash of titans, each head trying to take a bite out of me, each of them spitting fire and fury. But I hang on tight. I use my weight, my power, and my sheer determination to wear down the beast. I don't fight with anger or hate. I fight with the focus and precision of a true warrior. I know this is my final hurdle, and I'm not about to let anything stop me. Finally, after what must have felt like an eternity, Hercules manages to overpower Cerberus. He wrestles the beast into submission, not with brute force alone, but with the indomitable spirit of a hero. He's done it. He's captured Cerberus, conquered the underworld, and completed his final labor. And that's the story of Hercules and his 12 labors. From slaying monstrous beasts to outsmarting gods, he faced every challenge with courage, strength, and a whole lot of heart. But most importantly, he never gave up, even when faced with impossible odds. Hercules as S1. My story is more than just a bunch of cool myths and legends. It's a story about the potential that lies within each of us. It's a reminder that no matter how tough things get, we all have the strength to overcome our challenges and achieve greatness. So the next time you're facing a challenge, remember Hercules. Remember his unwavering spirit, his incredible strength, and his dedication to proving himself. Channel your inner demigod, and who knows, you might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more epic tales from mythology. See you next time.